Now, we were just mentioning that Nagi was dressed again in that blue T-shirt, sweatpants, and flip-flops, and he's also been accused of violence in the past. We know that in 2014, he's accused of pulling a knife on his own daughter. So again, we are learning more about his history through this arraignment process. We did speak with Nagi's lawyer this afternoon, and he says he learned he would be involved in this case just last night and didn't know who he would be representing until this morning. He couldn't make much more comment than that. But again, Nagi will appear in court here behind us at 10 a.m. on Friday, and we expect to learn much more about what will happen to Nagi in the future.
All right, and we're going to continue our coverage from here at the courthouse. For now, we'll send it back to you in the studio, Teresa.
All right, Jordan Williams and Marissa Perlman live for us outside U.S. Attorney William Hochul's office. As far as the raid today, this happened not far from where the so-called Lackawanna Six lived. Federal authorities arrested them in 2002. They suspected the men were part of an al-Qaeda sleeper cell. News 4's Katie Alexander has been in that neighborhood for us all morning. Katie, what can you tell us about this raid?
Well, Teresa, things are relatively calm now and quiet, all things considering. Seeing FBI agents come in and out of the house behind me. I'm going to step out so you can get a better view of it, actually. We've been seeing them come in and out all morning long, sometimes carrying evidence. We saw a large bag of evidence, most recently a large box they brought out the front door. We also saw them in the backyard looking at the garage. But again, things are calm here. That's a very different picture than what happened originally this morning. Neighbors tell us they were woken up by the sound of a swarm, they described it, of agents and officers arriving on the scene and a helicopter circling overhead. And now many people around here are looking for answers. All morning long, people have been stopping by to try to find out what's been going on. One person we talked to said she's seen who she believed to be federal agents in this area for at least the last month. Another person said they had heard rumors about the man who lived in the house on Olcott along the lines of what federal officials have said this morning about his ties, alleged ties to terrorist organizations. But the neighbor we talked to would not get into any details about that. Almost everyone we've talked to seemed very surprised by everything that's been going on here today. Still, as we just heard from federal officials this morning, there were clues on social media, and U.S. Attorney Hochul said information that led to Mr. Nagi's arrest did come from community members.
You know, Lackawanna is a close-knit community, so we definitely try to, you know, stay aware of our surroundings, you know. So, you know, being in the state the way that the world is, you know. So.
Is it usually a pretty quiet neighborhood?
Yeah, Lackawanna is very quiet and safe.
Talked to described the FBI presence in this neighborhood as scary and crazy. She says she hasn't seen this much activity here since the raid that led to the arrest of the so-called Lackawanna Six. You'll remember those are the local men who eventually pleaded guilty to providing material support of terrorism after allegedly taking part in a training camp for al-Qaeda before 9/11. And interestingly, we're actually standing just up the block from where those men were living at the time of their arrest. It's only, you know, 5 or 6 houses from where we're standing right now. Reporting live in Lackawanna, Katie Alexander, News 4.
Katie, thank you. It's certainly notable the difference between now and then in terms of what it takes to get a warrant to arrest someone on these kinds of charges. At the time the Lackawanna Six were arrested, it was fairly easy under the Patriot Act to get warrants to listen in recordings, telephone calls, and those arrest warrants as well. You can check WIVB.com for updates on this. You can follow us on Twitter and Facebook as well.